What would you build if you wanted the world to remember the person you loved? A palace? A kingdom? On the banks of the Yamuna River in Agra, India, stands a monument that has become almost synonymous with love itself. In 1631, the Mughal emperor Shah Jahan lost his wife, Mumtaz Mahal, while she was giving birth to their 14th child. She was only 38. Devastated by the loss, the emperor committed to creating a mausoleum that would ensure her memory survived his own lifetime. Translating that profound grief into a physical structure posed an enormous problem. The 17th century workforce had no cranes, bulldozers, or steel beams to hoist enormous blocks of stone. Even finding a place to put it was difficult. The chosen site was situated directly on the muddy, unstable banks of the Yamuna River. The soil was prone to shifting and erosion, making it a highly precarious environment for a massive masonry project. So how exactly did the empire solve this? How did they take an intangible emotion and engineer it into a mathematically flawless physical reality? The answer reveals that the Taj Mahal is a feat of extreme logistics, desperate problem-solving, and immense human ambition. To understand how they did it, we first need to correct a common misconception. The Taj Mahal you see in photographs is actually a small fraction of the whole project. This vector blueprint outlines the property. It's a sprawling 17-hectare complex designed on a strict mathematical grid. The central mausoleum is balanced by a 4-part garden, a reflecting pool, an identical red sandstone mosque, and a matching guest house. Creating a complex of this scale took roughly 2 decades, and it was not the work of one brilliant visionary. It required a vast creative team, pulling in master builders, sculptors, and calligraphers from Central Asia, Persia, and the Indian subcontinent. You might have heard the legend that Shah Jahan ordered his workers' hands cut off so they could never build anything like it. Historical records show no evidence of this. Instead, they describe a highly organized labor force of around 20,000 specialized craftsmen. Keeping those workers supplied required a massive logistical chain. Fleets of elephants were used to haul bright white marble from the Makrona quarries in Rajasthan, along with large quantities of semi-precious stones imported from hundreds of kilometers away. Ultimately, this massive supply network and workforce made the Taj Mahal a triumph of international collaboration. Before marble was laid, builders secured the muddy riverbank. This cross-section shows the hidden solution: an extensive foundation of deep wells and structural supports plunged into the soil to bear the immense weight above. Above ground, take the 4 130-foot minarets at the platform's corners. They aren't perfectly vertical. Vector lines reveal they lean away from the center. This is a safety mechanism. If an earthquake strikes, the towers tumble outward, avoiding the central dome. Careful calculations extend to the surface decorations. Looking at the Quranic calligraphy, letters appear perfectly uniform from the ground. But as text travels higher, craftsmen scaled up the thickness of the lettering. This optical correction forces the perspective, tricking the eye. There is one specific place where this strict mathematical order breaks down. Inside the interior chamber, you'll find 2 marble cenotaphs. Mumtaz Mahal's memorial sits perfectly in the center. Shah Jahan's was added decades later, positioned awkwardly to the side. The absolute perfection we associate with the monument is actually the result of deliberate structural engineering and illusion. That perfection would soon be tested. Following the decline of Mughal power, the complex fell into a long period of severe neglect. By the 19th century, the grounds were overgrown and untamed. The structure itself suffered considerable damage. During the upheaval of 1857, soldiers and visitors actively picked at the walls, prying out many of the semi-precious decorative stones. It wasn't until the early 1900s that the monument underwent a major conservation campaign. This massive restoration project was ordered by the British Viceroy of India, Lord Curzon. While the effort stabilized the decaying stonework, it also permanently altered the site's history. The dense, traditional Persian-style plantings were removed and replaced with the manicured English-style lawns we see today. The Taj Mahal we recognize today is a hybrid, an intersection of 17th century Mughal ambition and 20th century colonial preservation. In 2026, the greatest threat facing the monument is no longer time or warfare. It is atmospheric dust and industrial air pollution, creating thick smog that settles on the white marble and aggressively discolors the surface. To combat this, the Indian Supreme Court established the Taj Trapezium Zone. This map highlights the boundaries of a massive 10,400 square kilometer protected area, strictly regulating coal and industrial emissions near the site. Cleaning the airborne soot off the building requires extreme caution. Harsh chemical solvents or abrasive scrubbing would easily destroy the delicate lattice screens and intricate floral stonework. Instead, conservators use a highly managed traditional mud pack treatment. They apply a specialized layer of clay across the marble. As the clay dries, it safely absorbs and draws out the surface impurities without degrading the historic stone. 400 years ago, Shah Jahan designed this complex to enshrine his grief, determined to build something that would outlast his own empire. And it did. But the Taj Mahal survives today because humanity collectively decided to protect it. Through constant engineering, legal intervention, and painstaking conservation, we are actively preserving the world's most famous teardrop in stone.